Hey guys, we are back with some more Edmonton Oilers franchise mode, and in this one, we are going to start things off with a trade, because if you guys remember in the last one, we had our rookie sensation defenseman, Stu Comiskey, come up to the show, 86 overall. He got there in 1 year. We drafted him in the 2023 draft, and he made it all the way up to an 86 overall, and he's looking like a stud so far. So we're going to be trading Darnell Nurse because he has been the odd man out as of late. Of course, he got Clefbaum, Comiskey, Byram all ahead of him on the left side. And then you also got Barry, Merkley, and Larson, who are all doing better than him as well. We need to shed some cap, and I would rather do that now while we could get some value for Nurse, as opposed to releasing him in free agency and get nothing back for him. He still has quite a bit of value on him. And we're going to be trading him and Raimo Saranhaimo. Now, Raimo, he is only a 75 overall, 23 years of age. He still hasn't proven much. He's a former elite prospect. And the team that we're trading him to might want to make use of him because they're pretty thin on their blue line, and that would be the Boston Bruins. As we take a look at their defensive core, they don't have a whole lot of value here. They have McAvoy, of course, but then after that, it drops immediately down to an 81 overall, Kopstels, and then Carlo, 81, and then Woods, 79, 79, 79, 75. Yeah, they are not great defensively, at least in terms of their overall defensemen. So we're going to be sending them Nurse. We're going to be giving them Saranhaimo, maybe giving Saranhaimo a new opportunity to make his way into the NHL, because it's just not going to happen here. It's clearly not going to happen. So what we're going to get back from Boston is we are going to be getting back a couple of fill-in players to make the trade go through, Lynn and Summers, and that's obviously not it. We're also going to be adding picks because we can't really afford to take too much cap back. We have roughly, I think, 1.5 remaining in cap. Yeah, 1.2. So we really can't afford to take anything back other than picks or prospects, and in this case, it's going to be picks. And we could take the first, Boston's first for this year, technically, but when you look at their record, 20-20-1, that's not exactly favorable for them, and it's obvious why they don't want to trade their first round pick. So instead of taking their first round pick for this year, I'll take a second for this year and their first for next year and a third for this year. I think that works out very nicely. It is almost equal to the amount of value that this first brings. What it does for the Boston Bruins, obviously they don't want to give any of this up. So instead of taking their first for this year, we take their first for next year and a couple of other picks in the second and third round. And they have a solid defenseman to add for at least 1 year. And then if they want to re-sign him, they can. So they, get the rights to negotiate with him in the re-sign stage. And they have plenty of cap to work with. They're only at $81 million in salary right now. They could definitely re-sign Nurse if they wanted to. And Saranhaimo obviously gives them that former elite prospect who could still potentially develop into something maybe like an 81 overall defenseman or 82, 83 if they're lucky. So they're getting two pretty solid players here for a future first round pick that's not even going to be this year, so they don't have to worry about potentially missing the playoffs because they're still going to have their first round pick for this year. So Nurse and Saranhaimo for Lynn, Summers, their first and third for next year, and their second for this year. Will it go through? Yes, it will. They almost feel guilty saying yes to this deal. But the other reason why that we took that deal instead of taking their first for this year is because Darnell Nurse is only on a 1-year contract. He's effectively a rental player for them if they don't re-sign him. And if they do re-sign him, then obviously he would have been worth more at that point. But as it is right now, on his 1-year deal, he's effectively a rental player. So I wanted to make that deal fair for Boston since they didn't want to give up anything that we were taking back. But they also, at the same time, wanted both players that we were sending. So I think it's fair value for both sides. We'll see what happens with it. And obviously, we have no shortage of value with the amount of goaltenders that we have in our system. I mean, we have that franchise goaltender that we drafted. We have the, what's his name? We have Weston Barron, and then we have another guy in the AHL who's a medium elite, and then I think we have another medium elite who's unsigned. So, yeah, we have we have plenty of value to go around. We don't necessarily need to milk every little bit of value out of a trade as possible like we did before in like years 1 and 2. Now we're past that point now. We're in year number 7, I believe it is now, and we're just doing anything that we can to stay a competitive team for now and for the future. And I believe that will definitely help us in the future, given that we got a couple of draft picks out of it. And we're clearing up some cap space. And with that out of the way, let's continue the simulation. But before we do, we're going to check out the team stats so that we know what our special teams are looking like going into the simulation. And we are aware our goals for per game, way up there, 3.12. Goals against per game, 2.56, one of the best in the division. And our power play currently sitting at a 21.5, pretty good. Now our penalty kill was much better before. It was at, I believe, an 85. So we need to keep an eye on the penalty kill, make sure it gets that number at least stays the same, if not goes back up. And then the power play just has to keep clicking. And as we get back to the simulation, thought I'd explain where I've been for the past couple of days. As you may have noticed, there were no uploads on the past Thursday and Friday when there was normally uploads. And that was because I was working on updating the channel branding for NHL 20, such as thumbnails, the channel art, stuff like that, some other minor things that are involved as well. And then I'm also getting some new audio equipment very, very soon. They're actually, I think it's coming in the mail tomorrow. And so I'm super excited for that, super excited to let you guys hear the possible drastic increase in quality that is likely to happen, considering I spent about $400 on new audio equipment, so hoping that all works out. We're going all in for NHL 20. It's going to be great. Okay, so we are right before the trade deadline. Let's take a look at all the stats and see where we sit. We'll take a look at the team stats first, just so that we don't forget while it's on my mind. Goals for per game, we are currently at a 3.3, so we are scoring more than we were previously when we checked. It's always good news. Goals against per game is around the same as where it was, so that's pretty good news as well. 2.57. We are currently third in the division for that, and by far first for goals for. And power play is sitting at a 26.2. That is what you like to see. That was at a 21%, if I'm not mistaken, before. And the penalty kill has gone up a little bit, so I'm okay with that. So, in general, we've been much better. We are 36-20-7. In January, we went 5-2-2. And in February, we went 7-5-1. And obviously, we still have a couple more games in February to play, because it is not the end of the month officially yet. But I thought we'd obviously stop it before the trade deadline, take a look at all the stats, and see what's going on. Mitch Marner with 60 points, Puljujärvi with 57, McDavid with 56. And now remember, McDavid was going a little slow when we last checked at the end of the last episode, so looks like he's picked it up. Same thing for Puljujärvi. Mitch Marner has stayed consistent all year. Draisaitl, 53. Elias Anderson with 47. Elias Anderson on the third line is getting these kinds of seasons. He has been phenomenal for us. Timo Meier with 43. Nuge with 42. Wisniewski with 30 points. Is that a career high? And no, it is not, but if he gets 7 more, it will be over the next 19 games. Tierney with 25 points. Borgstrom with 23. Wilson with 19. Eller with 17. And as we check faceoffs, McDavid with a 56.4. Draisaitl with a 54.7. 49.4 for Anderson. 49.3 for Borgstrom. Hit-wise, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Puljujärvi all over 100. Wilson's basically at 100 with 99. Borgstrom with 83. 79 for Meier. 51 for Tierney. Marner with 43. Eller with 42. And all these guys down here, we know they don't hit. Anderson, Nuge, and Wisniewski. Takeaways to giveaways. Puljujärvi, he's great. McDavid's been great. Draisaitl's been good. Wilson's good. Anderson's been good. Wisniewski's been good. Tierney's been great. 33-15. That's a great ratio for a fourth liner. Glad we have him on board. 32-41 for Nuge. Eller is even. 30-30. 27-33 for Borgstrom. 27-43 for Marner. 19-32 for Meier. That's very unusual of Timo Meier. because as we take a look at his pass takeaway to giveaway ratios, especially on all these teams back here, and these are all in the simulation as well, so it's not like this is, real life compared to the simulation. No, this is simulation compared to the simulation. And he's, for some reason, turning over the puck a lot more these days, and if we could figure out why, that'd be great. But if not, then it's no big deal, because he's still pretty physical, though I might add he's not as physical as he was last year. 176 hits last year, and only 79 hits this year so far, and there's only 19 games left. Now, he does have more points this year so far than he did last year in total, and he's still got 19 more games to build on that. So having a better offensive season this year, and he had a better defensive season last year. Very interesting is Timo Meier. Defenseman Tyson Barrie with 45 points. My goodness, he has been a workhorse for us ever since we first got him. Ryan Merkley with 26 points, Klefbom with 17, Comiskey with 13, Byram with 9, Larson with 6, and Santini has played 1 game. Hits, Byram with 102, Comiskey with 91, Klefbom 88, Larson 79, Barrie 37, Merkley 18, Santini with 1. And the ratios, as long as it's a 2-to-1 giveaway to takeaway ratio, I'm alright with it. Klefbom, he's good. Larson's is good. Comiskey could be better, but that was pretty good at the start of the regular season, so that's been a little bit worse as of recent. But we're going to hope that that's just like a rookie slump that he's hit, and that he'll get better next year. Merkley, that's a pretty good ratio. Byram, now, this is still bad for Bowen Byram, but do note that it has been much worse for Bowen Byram in the past. He's showing signs of improvement, that's all I care about, and in more ice time per game as well than in previous seasons. And then Tyson Barrie with a 17-42, bit rough, but he's getting a lot of offense, so that makes up for it. And in goal, you have Malcolm Subban with a .911 save percentage, and Weston Barron in 14 games has a .923. So Weston Barron definitely proving that he belongs in the NHL, and it seems it's only a matter of time until he takes over the starting position from Malcolm Subban, and hopefully that's sooner rather than later. And since we're first in the Pacific Division, and I don't think there's too much of a risk of falling down to the wild card, I think we're just going to sim right through the trade deadline. No reason to do anything. We already traded away Darnell Nurse. That was the one trade that we absolutely needed to make this season, and we already did it. And I'm betting that, Boston is probably pretty happy that we didn't take their first round pick, because it doesn't look like they have too good of a chance at the playoffs now. Now, before they did, because before they were only 3 points out of the wild card when we traded them Darnell Nurse, but now it looks like they're starting to fall out, and they're probably pretty happy that we didn't take their first, and maybe that's some good karma that'll come back to reward us in the playoff season, hopefully. So, with that being said, let's get through the rest of the regular season and into the Year 7 playoffs. So we're here at the final game of the regular season. We went 10-7-1 since our last stoppage, and we are officially in the playoffs. And it looks like we may even be able to clinch our conference with a win here over Calgary. And before we get into the game against Calgary, let's check out the stats for the end of the regular season. And I thought I'd end it off with a nice third period commentary in the Battle of Alberta. So goals for per game with 3.28. That hasn't really gone down from when we last checked. So it stayed consistent at the very least, which is all I really expect. And goals against per game hasn't really gone anywhere either. So both categories doing very well. Offense and defense. Power play has gotten better. 27.1%. Wow. And the penalty kill, unfortunately, has gotten a little bit worse. 79.4. So we'll see if we can maybe fix that before the playoffs start. But unfortunately, the playoffs are basically right here anyway. So I guess we'll see what happens in the first couple of games in the playoffs. If we need to change something, we will. And obviously, that was a penalty kill that was at an 85% for the first part of the season. So I'm hoping that maybe in the playoffs, they turn it on. And let's check the player stats. McDavid with 77 points. Poirier with 74. Marner with 73. Draisaitl with 64. Meier and Anderson with 57. 52 for Nuge. 35 for Wisniewski. 34 for Borgstrom. 31 for Tierney, 24 for Eller, 21 for Wilson, and let's check out Face-offs. McDavid and Draisaitl both over a 50%. Anderson's at a 49.4. Borgstrom is at a 48.5. Hits, McDavid, Draisaitl, Wilson, Puljujarvi, and Borgstrom all over 100. Myers close with 94. Takeaways to giveaways. Puljujarvi's great. McDavid's great as usual. Draisaitl and Anderson are both good. Wilson could be a little bit better. Wisniewski's good. Marner could be better, but he is getting offense, so I'm not too fussy about that for players who get offense. Tierney, he's good. Nuge could be better, for sure. Borgstrom could be better. Eller could be better. Meyer could be better, but he is getting offense this year. He has 57 points. And defensively, Tyson Barrie with 55 points. Merkley with 39. Klefbom with 23. Comiskey with 16. 10 goals, wow. Byram with 12. Larson with 8. Santini only played 1 game. Physically, we have Byram, Comiskey, and Klefbom with over 100 hits. Larson was close with 97. And takeaway to giveaway ratios. Larson's good. Klefbom's good. Comiskey could be better, but it is his rookie season. He's only 21 years of age. Got plenty of room to grow. Byram, 27 to 68. That's definitely not as bad as it's been in years past, especially with the gradual increased role that he's had. Yeah, this is much better. So he's actually had the same amount of takeaways as he has in the past 2 years this year, but less giveaways and in more ice time per game. So again, he's getting much better. It's pretty clear. And he had a career high in hits as well. Not much to complain about from Bowen Byram. Merkley, good with 25 to 48. And Barrie could have been better, but he did have 55 points this year, so I can't complain there for sure. And goaltenders, Malcolm Subban with a 914, and Weston Barron dropped back down there to a 914 as well in 20 games. So I think it's safe to say we'll be going with Malcolm Subban in the playoffs once again. But if he falters at any point, which I hope he doesn't obviously, but if he does, we have a pretty reliable backup in Weston Barron, and it's also some good experience for him. And let's see, did Boston make the play? Yeah, no, they didn't even come close. They are last currently in the Atlantic Division, so maybe that's some good karma that'll come back to help us in the playoffs. Let's just hope that it is. And now the only thing left to do in this episode, Battle of Alberta. Well, actually, I lied. It's not the only thing left to do in this episode. We still have to find out who we're facing in the playoffs and review their lines and all of that, but the last big thing that we're doing. So let's get into it. Third period against the Calgary Flames. And here we go. And nope. Hold on. Gotta change the camera. Alright, now here we go. Face-off taken and won by Calgary. Hannafin. And never mind. I completely forgot that I turned Doc and Eddie on for a recording that I was doing earlier. So, commentary volume all the way down to 0. There we go, that is better. And now, let us resume the gameplay. There you go, Gaudreau receives that pass from Hannafin. And taken by Gaudreau again. Anderson tried to find someone in front, but couldn't as it was broken up by Edmonton and Marner into the zone. For Nuge, McDavid, the short side shot, and Saros will cover up. And face-off, won by Calgary once again. McDavid behind the net, but Saros will send it out to Anderson. Anderson for Calgary takes it up. Lindholm with the shot, and Subban with the save made from far out. And something I didn't even realize till just now. There are 2 Andersons in this game. Elias Anderson, of course, from your Edmonton Oilers, and Rasmus Anderson, defenseman on the Calgary Flames. Face-off tied up. Lindholm takes it for Calgary. Anderson to Lindholm. Gaudreau with the shot, and Subban flashes the glove. Face-off won by McDavid. Byram to Barrie. For Marner. Marner up the wing. Into the zone. Does a little deke. Beats McDavid. Plowing through the boards. Byram. On the point for Nuge. Back to Barrie. Barrie down low for Marner. Back for Nuge. Nuge circles around. Finds McDavid. McDavid for Barrie. Barrie. Finds McDavid. Will anyone shoot? McDavid shoots. And Saros will cover up. Meyer, Draisaitl, and Puljujarvi out there against Doan, Jankowski, and Huda. Meyer receives that pass from Barry. Puljujärvi circling around with it. Finds Byram for Barry. Barry down low. Meyer with the shot. And Anderson will collect that pretty easily off the rebound. Anderson for Kuta. Kuta with the shot. That went wide. And Doan is able to get the rebound, but couldn't get it on net. Puljujärvi through the neutral zone. Power move. Spin. Looking for anyone, but Anderson is taking it away. Gets it to Gaudreau for Kuta. Kuta gets bodied by Byram. Byram will take it in himself. Gets it up for Anderson. Elias Anderson for Edmonton Oilers. Back for Barry. Back to Anderson with the shot. And Hannafin will get that up for Calgary as he gets it to Lindholm. Gaudreau has it now. Finds number 6 on the point, Kylington, for Välimäki with a shot. And that was a good save by Subban. Wilson dumps in for your Edmonton Oilers. Välimäki will pick it up. Finds Gaudreau up center ice, and he finds Lindholm. Lindholm centers it, and oh my, Subban had to reach back for it, as that was a dangerous situation there, but we got out of it unscathed. First line out there once again. It's Calgary's third line. Face-off won by Calgary. Välimäki tried to send that for one of his teammates, but finds Marner instead. Marner finds Nuge already waiting for it in the neutral zone. Nuge with the shot. Saved by the Calgary goaltender, Saros. And a penalty on your Edmonton Oilers as the Flames pull their goaltender. Puljujärvi and Borgstrom on the face-off against Kuta, Wengranowski, and Jankowski. Larson with the puck, gets it out. Kylington meets it for Jankowski. Back for Kylington. Goalie pulled for Calgary. Monahan. The puck centers that one, and Subban will cover that up with 49 seconds remaining. Wengranowski on the face-off against Borgstrom, and he'll win it. Anderson tried to find Gaudreau for the one-timer, but he couldn't pull it off. And all these guys back skating now. They can't get the puck on net, and cleared by your Edmonton Oilers. Välimäki meets it at the boards. He winds it around for Wengranowski. Välimäki up to Kuta. Kuta does a little toe drag. Loses it, gets it out on the boards. Kuta for Wengranowski with the shot. And Subban holds on with 22 seconds remaining. Wilson and Draisaitl out there now against Gaudreau, Monahan, and Lindholm. Face-off won by Calgary. Anderson with the shot. And Comiskey will clear it out for your Edmonton Oilers. 14 seconds remaining. Not much time to get much here for Calgary. We should have this game all in the books. Monahan dangles in. Finds Lindholm. Lindholm with a shot. Wow. And he breaks the shutout. Does Elias Lindholm. But with 4 seconds remaining, still not much hope for the Calgary Flames to get back into this game officially. But they've made it interesting. Maybe they could, get a fast break off the face-off and a quick shot. You never know. You never know. All right. Face-off. It'll be interesting. See if maybe Calgary tries to make a push right away here. That's what they're going to need to do. Kylington to Gaudreau. The shot, no shot. And that'll be a 2-1 win for your Edmonton Oilers. Final win of the regular season in the books. And we're headed to the playoffs. And we have officially, as well, clinched the Pacific Division. And it looks like we may have even clinched the conference, depending on what happens here with, we clinched the conference. I was about to say, because Colorado had 101 points. I didn't see that they had already played 82 games, though. So, yeah, we have officially clinched the Western Conference. I don't believe we have... No, we did not get the President's Trophy for sure. That belongs to either Detroit or Washington at this point. But that's fine. We don't need any President's Trophy. We need the Stanley Cup. And we will be facing the Vegas Golden Knights. So let's check out the lines of the Vegas Golden Knights. And have we faced them yet in this series? I don't know. Everything starts to blend together after a while. When you're doing two GMOs at the same time, it's kind of confusing. First line, Huberdeau, Carlson, and Stone. I think we've seen these guys before. I remember this lineup. Second line, Rawlings, Glass, and Tuck. Third line, Dale Cones with Granlund and Gunther. Yeah, we've definitely faced them before. And then Engvall with Helmainen and Josh Williams. I was about to say Justin Williams, but no, it's the younger Williams. Plus, Justin Williams at this point doesn't really make much sense anyway, given that it's year number 7, and he would be probably 45, 46 at this point if he was still playing. And defensively, they're looking like Shea Theodore with Cooper Pickard. He was their rookie defenseman last year, I believe he was scratched actually, so now he's on the first pair. And Nick Hogg with Colin Miller, and then Nate Schmidt with Mirko Mueller. And in goal, they have Braden Holtby. I believe that is a new addition. That is indeed a new addition to the Vegas Golden Knights. So, great. It looks like they're going to be pretty tough this year. And then they have Brossoit as the backup, and scratched are Gooley, John Hayden, and Iafallo. So there you go. There are the Vegas Golden Knights, and there's year number 7 with your Edmonton Oilers. And the next one, we'll be facing the Vegas Golden Knights in round number 1. And the rest of the playoffs are looking like Anaheim versus Vancouver, Colorado versus St. Louis, Winnipeg versus Minnesota, Detroit versus Buffalo, Tampa versus Ottawa, Washington versus New Jersey, Columbus versus Carolina, and of course, your Edmonton Oilers versus the Vegas Golden Knights. See you guys in the next one.